Enforcement is the English name. The movie is called Shorta, which is the Arab word for police. This is about two police officers that are paired together, Mike and Jens. Mike is the one that's kind of a gung-ho sort of veteran cop who's all about like us versus them. You know, he's got the viewpoint that police can't do anything wrong because they're under a lot of stress. They gotta like protect themselves. And then Jens is the one who, we don't see him at the beginning of the film, but two cops basically arrest a teenager and they use excessive force and put him in the hospital. So there's a lot of political unrest going on, and Jens was there. So he's got to make a statement with IA. However, his boss pairs him with Mike for a specific reason. But when that teenager dies in hospital, all of a sudden, it's a free-for-all for police. So their car gets damaged with rocks after they arrest a young teen. And then now they're basically on foot trying to escape this subdivision of slum of sorts away with no backup. Everyone wants their heads. They're being tracked by social media. This is basically like end of watch, but during a riot. So you think there'd be a lot of interesting mix of action, thrills, and political relevancy because it covers kind of similar in plot to the Black Lives Matter movement with police brutality. However, the movie doesn't meld anything well together. Mike and Jens, they have they're sort of on opposite sides of the coin, but then they get separated, and the movie just doesn't know what to say. When I watched this movie trailer in front of another movie, I just thought it was like a thriller about two cops trying to survive a riot, but they throw in the political sort of aspect, and that doesn't really get explored. It's really clumsy. The way they do it, they're basically like, oh, look, all foreigners aren't bad because, this one likes soccer and I'm getting along with him and he's helping us. And, it's really clumsy in that regard. It doesn't know what it wants to say. The ending is really unsatisfying as well because it feels rushed. And the movie's long, but it also feels rushed, which is weird. So in that regard, basically the movie just doesn't know what to do with its like heavy themes. It doesn't focus too hard on being a crime thriller action movie, but it also wants to be like, I'm also self-important too because I have relevant themes of social things, but I don't know what to do with those things. So it feels really like bad because the way they write the finale is pretty awful too. It just doesn't really stick the landing, even though everything up to that point was pretty solid. So Shorta or Enforcement, I give it a 4 out of 10.